Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Coach G, and I am a mental toughness coach and keynote speaker. I primarily help athletes build their confidence, build their resilience, and create a winning mindset so that they can play up to their full potential without having that fear of failure or that self doubt. Today, we will be talking about the power of self talk and how it influences your confidence. So, first things first, what is self talk? Self talk is that internal dialogue that you have with yourself. You talk to yourself, whether you believe it or not, all day, every day. So, self talk can either be verbal or it could be nonverbal. And what I mean by verbal, it could be you saying things out loud or it could just be internal, you saying it in your mind. Now, why is self talk so important? Self talk is important because it influences your FICO, what I call FICO, your focus, your emotions, your confidence, and overall performance. Self talk has the power to influence all four of those things. So let's look at the two type of self talk. I'm sure some of you have heard of this before. So there are two types of self talk. You have positive self talk and you have negative self-talk. When it comes to positive self-talk, the primary role for a positive self-talk is to build your confidence and provide motivation. It actually shifts your focus away from doubt, fear, and any mistakes that you have made in the past. Also, when it comes to positive self talk, it reinforces the belief that you are capable of performing well and helps you during challenging times. Also, positive self talk has two categories, and that is instructional self talk and motivational self talk. I'm going to quick go over that real quick, jump over to it. So, motivational self talk, it's the type of self talk that hypes you up and gets you ready for performance. So, for a QB, that may sound like, you got this, trust your arm. For a wide receiver, it may sound like no one can stop me. Defensive lineman, you could say things like dominate the line. Or for a linebacker, motivational self-talk could be I'm the best out there. When it comes to instructional self-talk, those are the cues that help you to perform a certain task. So for a quarterback, you could say things to yourself like stay in the pocket. Wide receiver, when you're about to catch the ball, you could say something like watch the ball in your hand. For a defensive lineman, you could say things to yourself like stay low and drive through. And a linebacker, you could say things like stay square on the line. So, two types of positive self talk, motivational and instructional. You need both of them to succeed out there on the field. Now, let me go back to negative self talk. Negative self talk is what destroys your confidence. If you're an athlete who already has anxiety leading up to a game, if you have negative self talk, it's only going to increase that anxiety. So, when it comes to negative self talk, it also leads to self doubt. You start to doubt yourself. You start saying things like, can I do this? I'm going to fail. I don't think I could make it. And when you have self doubt, that leads to poor performance. So, here's an exercise that I like to do with my athletes. Think about all of the negative things you say to yourself, either before a game, during a game, or after a game. You may say something like, I'm not ready, or I suck because I dropped that pass, or how can I fumble? I'm such an idiot. I shouldn't even be playing. Coach shouldn't even be playing me. So now I want you to think about your best friend. Who is your best friend? Think about that person or persons. Now, if your best friend came up to you and said, "Hey, I had a bad game. I was so nervous before the game. I dropped so many passes and I'm just not feeling it right now." What would you say to your best friend? Would you say the same negative things that you have said to yourself in the past to your best friend? Would you say, man, you just suck. Why are you even playing? You're fumbling a ball out there in the field. You might as well quit. You're not going to say that to your best friend. Why? Because it's mean, it's not productive, it doesn't help them, and you care about them. So let's switch it back to you. If you know those things will not help your best friend, why are you saying it to yourself? It's not productive. It's not going to help you. And it's not going to make you feel better. So, what you need to do to manage that negative self talk is do something we call reframing. Reframing is just shifting your perspective and giving the situation a new meaning. And how we do that is the three C's. You first catch it, then you check it, then you change it. First step, catch. Catch that negative self talk. I want you to be more aware of that self-talk that you have before games or during the games, what are the things you're saying to yourself? Catch it first. Then I want you to check it. Is it true? If so, said by who? Where's the evidence that this negative self-talk or whatever you're saying where's the evidence that it's true? Yes, you may have dropped a few passes, but that doesn't mean you are a bad wide receiver. That doesn't mean you're a horrible wide receiver, right? So the last C is to change it. Change that negative self-talk to something more productive. So instead of saying, I am a horrible wide receiver, I can't catch anything, you could say to yourself, I will be better. I can be better. I may not have caught any of the footballs today, but tomorrow I'm coming back stronger. Or I'm not the best wide receiver yet, but if I continue to work at it, I will be the best. You see how you can reframe certain things to make it more productive? So, when it comes to reframing, you can do that at any time, before a game, in the middle of a game, or towards the end of the game. So be aware of the things you're saying to yourself and make sure that you are catching it, checking it, and changing it. Last thing I want to say or I want to share is a quote that stood out to me, and it's so true. Self talk is the most powerful form of communication because it either empowers you or it defeats you. You are the only person inside your head. You listen to yourself more than you listen to anybody else. Why make it a place? Why make your mind a place that you don't really understand or make it a place where you're not feeling empowered? The things you say to yourself can either empower you or defeat you. Make sure what you're saying to yourself empowers you and build you up and hype you up. One more thing I want to say that I learned from Michael Phelps, who has the most Olympic gold medals than anybody in the world, is he mentioned that every time he walks through a doorway, he says a positive affirmation. He says something positive about himself. So I want you to try that. Every time you walk through a doorway or go inside a car, say something positive about yourself. I am the best. I am a great wide receiver. I am a great quarterback. I can do this. I control what I can control. I'm a confident player. Or you could follow something that I do. Have a dry erase marker, go to my mirror and write 3 positive affirmations about myself. And every morning when I go into the bathroom and brush my teeth, I see it every morning and I recite it to myself. Self talk is powerful. Use it to your advantage. Thank you. My name is Gladine Frasso. As you all know, you could find me on Instagram, on Facebook at IamMentallyTough.com. Or if you have any questions, any feedback, any comment, anything you want to share with me, just email me. I check my email a few times a day, so you will either get a response right away or less than 24 hours. Until next time, talk to you soon.